This is Roger Struckhoff with Syscon TV at CloudEXPO in New York in June 2017, and we are joined by Dhiraj Sehgal with Tintri. Now, we could talk about cloud, we could talk about big data, I suppose, but we really want to talk about DevOps. What I'm seeing, this is still the first day of the show, but even after only a few hours, I'm seeing kind of a new maturity, especially with DevOps. People are not asking what it is. They don't seem to be fighting it anymore. It seems to be we're in the stage of acceptance, and now how do we best create a culture in our organization? Do you agree with that? And whether you do or not, why are you here and what are you doing here?
Sure. Nice to be here. In regards to
welcome, by the way.
Thank you. Yes, so in regards to the DevOps, I was listening to the panel today afternoon in which the retail solution VP of Starbucks, the CA associates, and a few other folks were on the panel discussing about the DevOps. So DevOps definitely is into the enterprises. There is no pushback or nothing like that. And people are approaching it from the perspective of not just adopting it, but how to make it more effective in their organizations. So there is a cultural shift going on, but with that comes the technology changes, like how people are looking at the downstream side of the infrastructure for the DevOps to make their integration testing, continuous delivery, continuous deployments, all that go faster, and that's where I'll say Tintri comes into the play.
Yeah, I was going to say, and that's where you are. Give us more details. So that's where you come into play, and now probably what you've been saying for a few years is becoming real with your customers. What value are you adding? What are you doing for them?
Sure. So in regards to Tintri, what we have seen is as people are moving out of the silos of the storage and they are looking at the infrastructure as a holistic view, they don't want to work just on the storage side or network or the compute side. What they want to look at is, like if a person, a DevOps engineer or a developer within that environment brings up a VM, the unit, the storage and the network, everything comes associated with it. And there are snapshot or policies, everything to feed into their test cycles. All that stuff has to be automated into this process. It doesn't need to be done custom built, which will basically de-accelerate their testing or release cycles, right? They are trying to time to the market, they are trying to bring the feature velocities. In regards to Tintri, what we do is, we focus on the ops side of the DevOps, which basically is pushing this more and more of the accessibility of infrastructure to the developers and trying to get behind the scenes rather than becoming the bottleneck into this picture. So for the storage part, like what we do is we provide the enterprise cloud solution where with our APIs you can automate the entire process of provisioning the storage and associated policies and frameworks for your DevOps environment.
So the ops side, in sort of early days a few years ago, the ops side is the bottleneck or the point of resistance. The developers were all for this. The ops saying, yeah, but you don't live in the real world. Yeah. But you've brought that real world to developers.
Yes, and the thing is, in that process, like people earlier used to take 5 hours to 5 weeks to get to their storage or their data and whatnot. With us, it has come out to be a point like it's within few clicks or 5 clicks, or it's less than 5 minutes. And many of our customers have gone to that point. Like we talk internally like, okay, how different users have gone from 5 hours to 15 minutes or 5 minutes where they can get their data, where they can do this data management across the board. So it is a dramatic shift, and we have helped customers accelerate their software development, release cycles, and production quite a bit.
Are you getting people with experience in the operations side to buy in, and or sort of a new generation of people who are being trained in a DevOps approach from the beginning? How many old habits do you have to change compared to just starting fresh with people?
Interesting you brought up that question. So I'll say there is a healthy mix of people. There are people who have been on the virtualized environment. There are people who have been the sysadmins or the people who are the cloud admins. And these are the people who basically want to have the infrastructure under them as a holistic view, and that's the new breed or the old breed who is trying to expand their footprint into the infrastructure and take it as one view, and they are the ones who are basically adopting our philosophy and then getting Tintri into their data centers and then just doing it as a one infrastructure solution.
So it seems like we reached a point where maybe we're over the hump. What do you see for your company? What do you see for Tintri for the rest of this year and into next year?
So what we see is a lot more of organizations are going to do DevOps environments as they build their enterprise clouds, and that's where Tintri is going to get more and more adoption and accepted into the environments. That's the strong trend we are seeing in the market.
URL, just
www.tintri.com. We have a specific DevOps pages also where you can go and look into it. There is a bunch of data in regards to about the performance, about the QoS, about the all that stuff quite a bit available for users to read about, like what are the things important and how does it translate downstream from your developers into operations into the infrastructure.
So Tintri.com, Tintri.com, or just Google DevOps Tintri. I bet you'll find the page with all that stuff on there. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for watching. For Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckhoff.